Hello and welcome to a review of Kamen Ghost's GC11 Ghost Change 11. This is his grateful Tamashii form where he has collected or binded the souls of 15 Tamashii he's looked for since the beginning. And just like all the other ones for the suit, there's a slant on the top of the box there. If I flip it around, it's advertising all the different suits that can go with well, base figures. So inside the box, of course, you have a orange backing card of Ghost's logo right there, and of course an instruction sheet. If you do want to take a close look at the instruction sheet, photos of the box art and the figure itself, please feel free to head over to the Flickr or Facebook link in the video description below. So this box opens up pretty easily. And inside there, while the jacket still has the usual plastic thing to hold it up, there's nothing actually holding that head in place. So if I just remove that plastic, see this head's just sort of there. And I'm just going to pick this guy up and close that up. Now since this guy doesn't have any weapons and stuff, they decided as an accessory to give us Ghost's base Tamashii, where the hoodie is down. So we've had previous versions where the hoodies can come down with... Necron's hood can go down, it's attached to a little hinge, as well as the boost form, but the Ghost one doesn't come down, and instead of giving the little mechanism for the Ghost suit to come down, instead they use this opportunity to give us an extra Ghost suit. This isn't technically a bad thing, since with the hinge on the hoodie it would make the suit look a bit slightly less good, I guess. And when you move the hood down, you have the ghost eye on the top there. Now of course this suit does not have the ghost eye printed there, so you have a slightly better looking fold there on the ghost suit itself. Now for the most part, they're still using similar molds here. I really think for example, these arms still come down, but there's absolutely no reason for these to come down anymore because there is no ghost face to go with the suit. So they really should have just had those glued down and just not moved, but instead they're being cheap again and just having the same piece there. So no ghost eye for those arms to come down for no reason. So I'm just going to plug this head in, and so this head plugs in pretty well, but if I want to move the head, you see it's not a really big click when I put this down. But at least now we have Ghost with the full black on top of the head, and with the hood down. So this actually looks pretty decent, and it's not a bad thing to have per se. It's just we could have had something else in this. This could have been somewhat decent figure, but with the gimmick that they put in this figure, something doesn't quite work. Now this figure does look pretty good on the front, but his head cannot turn left and right. Why? Because his entire armor piece is attached to a hinge. You see that? The hinge is attached to the belt, and his whole front piece is just a single piece. Now there's a hinge to look up and down, but that's it. It's actually on a click joint, so that's useful, I guess. The shoulder pads are also on little ball and swivel joints, but this helmet does not turn left or right. Now I guess you can unplug this hinge, but this hinge is still in the way, so he can't turn his head left or right, and that's really sucky. Now in terms of moving the head up and down, he can move it just a little bit, but there's not much leeway, which is quite annoying. Oh well. And so the good points of this figure, now just standing him there, he does look pretty decent. These horns are made of softer material, so they're not gonna snap off. The shoulder pads do move quite easily, and these pads here are also soft material for the most part, so they don't get in the way a lot of the time. Now the gimmick of this figure is they're giving you that jacket for a reason, because the other side of the figure is his normal form. So in order to get, we got the issue having two belts, one belt buckle on each side, which gets a bit silly. So yes, they actually did this with Drive, with the damn, what's that form? The Mark, where Mark and Drive both use one of the forms with the tires on the side, where the suit is actually designed to flip around, so you have two riders in the same suit. Now that's the difference between this and that, and this figure and the dry figure, is that the dry figure was actually designed in the show to look like it's half Drive, half Mark. So one side of the suit looks like Mark, one side of the suit looks like Drive, and it made sense. Whereas here, the suit is not designed to look like Ghost's normal form on the other side, so what you have is something that just looks a bit ridiculous. So how do you transform this guy into normal Ghost? Well, you flip this down, turn the main body around, so now you have the Ghost driver. Flip these two down, that's it. these two come down here. You want to turn this leg around and then move this armor piece to the back or the inside, like so. Same with the other leg, just move this armor piece inside there. So now you have kind of Ghost's thing. Now these pads are also softish material, and this is tricky. Now this bit's really annoying because this arm is kind of tight, but you know this arm can't actually bend backwards, so you do need to rotate this arm so you get the orange logo on the front. Flip the hand around, just have it like that, so it's hidden. Same with this arm, so you get a really tight rotating joint there. Come on. No, it's really hard to do this without spinning the entire hinge, because the top of the shoulder, the top of the elbow joint is looser than the bottom of the elbow joint. It makes it really hard to spin. So, right. So now that I've done that, I have sort of a Ghost figure. And if I wanted to, I'd just get this suit and plug it on there. So I'll just get the normal Ghost suit. Just plug it on there. Just has the hood going. And there you go. You have, whoops, that popped off. Have Ghost in his normal form, kind of, with a lot of random bits just attached to him. The biggest problem is stuff behind him. Now this is advertised as not coming off, so officially from the instructions, this is how the figure is supposed to look. Hey, you got something on your back, huh? Now, like I said, you can remove that quite easily. In fact, it is quite loose, so just chuck that to the side. You don't need that. But even still, you still have a lot of problems. The biggest problem is the stuff isn't completely hidden, so you still have lots of bits just hanging out from the sides and inside legs. It actually gets in the way. And every time you move these arms and stuff, these things will move with it because they're not that loose. And if they're too loose, of course, that'll be another problem where they just flip all over the place, and you don't want that. So they cannot be loose. So I think this gimmick really doesn't work, because at least with Drive, the suit was designed to do that. Here, it just looks silly. So with this figure, I feel like they just wanted to keep the gimmick of changing the suits, even though in the show, this entire the Grateful Tamashii form is entirely different from the rest of the normal Ghost forms. So they really should have given up this Ghost jacket gimmick and just given us a figure with an just this armor. And in fact, they could have given us just a whole armor piece that comes down, and they didn't need to give us an extra piece here. So just for funsies, this Ghost thing actually comes off pretty easily. So I was just show the Ghost sort of mechanical stuff underneath that transparent plastic, which is kind of cool that is there. So even though these don't have as much detail as the SH Figure Arts, say, paint details, they do have a lot of molding details that's already here. So that's still kind of cool. But yeah, and speaking of belts coming off, the Grateful Tamashii one also comes off quite easily. Just clicks off, so do be careful with that. So I'm just going to transform him back to his Grateful Tamashii form. So just to demonstrate another problem with this suit is, with the bulky Ghost driver on the back of his body, he can still wear the other sort of longer rope like clothing like this one here, but there is a bump on the back here, and it does somewhat get in the way of this jacket. He can, like you see here, he can still wear it for the most part, but it is getting in the way somewhat. Here's another problem with the suit. Now, Spectre and Ghost's base body is the same shape, so Spectre, basic Ghost, and can still somehow wear this top armor piece. But without a hinge down, like in order to make him fit, I had to move the hinge down there, and after removing the hinge, there's not really a support down there. And you see, this thing doesn't want to stay on. It's far too loose, so it won't stay on. The problem with this here is, well, only those two have the same body shape. I tried to plug them on Necron here, it won't even want to fit. It's just not right. It will come off completely. Same goes even with booster form, because his chest plate is also slightly different shape, so this guy won't fit. I think this is the worst release of the entire Ghost Change line. At the point, not just it's the worst, it's also a pretty bad release. I think the designer and Bandai here got a little bit too greedy, and we end up with something that just isn't that good. We don't really have a proper Ghost Change gimmick at works here. We could have had one good figure, instead we have a combination of two just kind of bad figures. Yes, this ghost suit accessory is kind of nice to have, but that's not good enough to take away from all the sins that this figure has given us. We could have had one good body here with an armor piece that still had the Ghost Change gimmick, a rubber piece that can still go on the figure, but instead we have something that can't even turn his head left and right, a suit that doesn't fit or stay on any of the other figures. This suit, apart from this staying on this figure, just doesn't fit anywhere else. So the bottom line is, if you're not going to let this armor piece fit on any of the other figures, then don't let it come off. Let us have at least a somewhat good figure. If you really want to have some sort of gimmick and this thing can't come off and go on other figures, maybe put a light in there or something like the Wizard figures, the WAP series did. Those didn't really have a big gimmick going on, but the heads would light up, and that's something nice, kinda. This is, yeah, it looks good from the front, but from the back, even if I don't, I mean, what the hell is this? This is ugly. This armor piece doesn't go all the way around the back. We could have had a piece, just a single piece that goes all the way around the back that can go on other figures. If anything, these pieces could have also been clip-ons that can clip on other figures. How cool would that be if you have like the Necron figure and you just had these pieces clip on? It would have been a nicer gimmick, but instead here we have something like this. We don't even have an extra Ghost jacket stand for this piece if we're not using it. All of the other figures have been good enough to come with a little display stand for all of the Tamashiis to, you know, hang them up when they're not attached to a figure. Here we don't have that. We can hang this jacket in one of the Tamashii stages, but this head will just fall off and there's nowhere to go. They could have given us an extra one of those stages to hold up the normal Ghost jacket when we can use this, and at least there's somewhere for the pieces to go. But nope, nothing like that. So yeah, the gimmick doesn't really work, so if you do really like this suit design, just wait for the SH Figuarts. I do not recommend this release at all. Just leave it, it's not worth it. If you've enjoyed this video, found it useful, please consider clicking the like button, subscribe button, or leaving a comment below on how you feel about this suit, this release. You can hear I'm very disappointed in this release, completely. It's not even that fun to play with. And you can check out the reviews of all the other Ghost Change series on this video, as well as the Gagan Action, the candy toy version of Ghost Change series. I reviewed the first wave. I've also reviewed the Houdini bike, which is also for this line, but it's like a DX release. It comes with a Houdini icon, DX icon in that, which I've actually given away to my friend because I have no need for those icons. Anyway, please consider clicking Patreon so I can do more videos for you guys more often, or checking out my other videos without ad block on. I would appreciate that a lot, but you don't have to. Most importantly, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye now.